I was reviewing my student loan statement when I saw it again. March 2024. Same thing I'd seen for 8 years, every month. Same line item. Payment received, third party $500. Anonymous payment, no name, no account number, just $500 every single month since 2016. I'm Amanda Parker. I'm a high school English teacher. I make $52,000 a year. I have $87,000 in student loans, or I did before the mysterious payments started. 8 years of $500 monthly payments, that's $48,000 from someone I don't know for a reason I can't figure out. And I just found out who it was, PAs. If stories about the invisible people who changed your life, the ones you walked past every day without really seeing matter to you, subscribe to this channel. We tell stories about the helpers nobody noticed and the kindness that came back when you needed it most. Now let me tell you about Mrs. Dorothy Williams and about why a cafeteria worker spent 8 years paying off a teacher's student loans. It started in 2016. I just started teaching, fresh out of grad school, $87,000 in debt, master's degree in education, starting salary $48,000. The math didn't work. Monthly loan payment, $890, monthly take home after taxes, $3,200, rent $1,100, car payment $280, insurance $150, groceries $300. I was drowning, barely making minimum payments, interest piling up, the debt growing despite payments. Then, in June 2016, I got a letter from my loan servicer. A payment of $500 has been applied to your account from a third-party source. Your new balance is $86,500. I called them. Who made this payment? We can't disclose that information. The payer requested anonymity. But someone paid $500 toward my loans? Yes, and it appears to be set up as a recurring monthly payment. What? Who would do that? We can't say, but you should receive $500 monthly going forward. I thought it was a mistake, a banking error, something that would be reversed. But the next month, another $500, and the next, and the next. For 8 years, $500 every single month, like clockwork. I tried everything to find out who it was, called the loan company monthly, talked to my bank, hired a financial investigator once, nothing. The payments were routed through a third-party service that protected anonymity. Someone was paying $500 a month toward my student loans, and I had no idea who or why. Until last week, when Mrs. Dorothy Williams died. I didn't know Mrs. Williams well, hadn't seen her in years. She was the cafeteria lady at Lincoln High School, my high school, 2009 to 2013. I'd been a student there, shy, quiet, ate lunch alone mostly. Mrs. Williams worked the lunch line, served food, wiped tables, smiled at everyone. She was kind. I remembered that, always said good morning, even when students ignored her, always patient, even when kids were rude. I'd liked her. I remembered saying thank you, asking how she was, small talk, nothing deep, just kindness, basic human decency. Then I graduated, went to college, grad school, started teaching. Didn't think about Mrs. Williams. She was just the lunch lady, part of the background of high school. Until I saw her obituary last week. Dorothy Mae Williams, 68, passed away March 15th, 2024, retired cafeteria worker, Lincoln High School, no surviving family, services at Riverside Chapel. No family. That struck me. She'd worked at that school for 30 years, and nobody to mourn her. I went to the service, felt like I should. She'd been kind to me, even if it was 15 years ago. Small service, maybe 10 people, other cafeteria workers, a few former staff, the principal. After the service, a lawyer approached me, Amanda Parker. Yes, I'm Stephen Hughes. I'm handling Mrs. Williams's estate. You're named as a beneficiary. What? That's not possible. I barely knew her. Nevertheless, she left specific instructions. Can you come to my office tomorrow? I went confused. What could Mrs. Williams have possibly left me? She was a cafeteria worker, modest life, no family. What estate? Stephen's office. He handed me documents. Mrs. Williams's estate is small, approximately $8,000 remaining after funeral costs. She wanted it to go to you. Why me? I'll let her explain. He handed me a letter, sealed, my name on it in shaky handwriting. To Amanda Parker, read after I'm gone. I opened it, hands shaking. Dear Amanda, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And Mr. Hughes has told you about the money. You're probably confused. Let me explain. Do you remember high school? 2009 to 2013? You were a student. I was the lunch lady. You were kind to me every single day. You'd say, "Good morning, Mrs. Williams." You'd ask how I was. You'd say thank you when I served your food. You have no idea what that meant. I was invisible, completely invisible. Most students looked through me, didn't see me. I was just the person who scooped mashed potatoes. But you saw me. You treated me like a person, like I mattered. When you graduated in 2013, I heard you got into college, Indiana University. I was so proud. Then I heard you were studying to be a teacher. Even prouder. In 2016, I ran into your mother at the grocery store. She mentioned you just started teaching, but you were struggling. Student loans, $87,000. She was worried about you. I went home and thought about it. You'd been kind to me when you were just a kid, when you had no reason to be, when nobody else was. I wanted to help, but I didn't have much. I was a cafeteria worker, made $28,000 a year, lived in a studio apartment, no family, no savings. But I had enough. $500 a month. It meant cutting back, eating cheaper, no cable TV, no new clothes, but I could do it. So I set up anonymous payments to your student loans, $500 every month. I didn't want you to know, didn't want thanks. I just wanted to help. You saw me when I was invisible. I wanted to help you fly. I've been paying for 8 years now, $48,000 total. I hope it helped. I hope it made your life a little easier. I'm dying now, cancer. The doctors say I have weeks. I'm not scared. I've lived a good life. Quiet, simple, but good. The one thing I'm proud of more than anything is helping you. You were kind to a lunch lady, and that lunch lady never forgot. Thank you for seeing me, Amanda. Thank you for treating me like I mattered. All my love, Dorothy Williams. I couldn't breathe, couldn't see through tears. Mrs. Williams, the cafeteria lady, had been paying my student loans for 8 years, $500 a month, $48,000 total. On a salary of $28,000 a year, living in a studio apartment, cutting back on everything, because I'd said thank you in high school. I called Stephen. When did she die? When exactly? March 15th. Why? My last anonymous payment. When did it come? I pulled up my loan statement, last payment March 1st, 2024, 2 weeks before she died. Mrs. Williams had made payments until the very end, even when she was dying, even when she probably couldn't afford it. For me, for a former student who'd been kind to her 15 years ago, I went to Stephen's office the next day. I need to see everything, her financial records, everything. He hesitated. Amanda, I'm not sure that's... Please, I need to understand. He showed me bank statements, 8 years, every month, same transaction. Payment to Nelnet Loan Services, $500. And before that, going back to 2016, the setup, Mrs. Williams had called the loan company, set up third-party payments, insisted on anonymity. The borrower shouldn't know it's me. Just apply it to her principal. I looked at her income, deposits every 2 weeks, $1,077 after taxes, $2,154 per month. Her expenses, rent, $750 studio apartment, utilities, $120, car insurance, $85, groceries, $300. phone $40. Student loan payment $500, total $1,795. She lived on $359 a month for everything else: gas, clothes, medical, entertainment, everything. $359 a month for 8 years. So I could have $500 a month help with my loans. I found more records, medical bills. Mrs. Williams had diabetes, type 2, needed medication, insulin. Some months she'd skipped doses, skipped doctor appointments to afford the $500 payment. I found hospital records, 2019, diabetic emergency, hospitalized for 3 days, bills totaling $8,400. And the next month, still $500 payment to my loans. She'd gone into debt, medical debt, to keep paying my student loans. I looked at her final bank statement, March 2024, balance $247. She died with $247 in her account because she'd sent me $500 2 weeks before she died. I found something else in Stephen's files, a notebook, Mrs. Williams' personal journal. I opened it, June 15, 2016, first payment. Made the first payment today, $500 to Amanda's student loans, set it up as automatic monthly. Had to cut my grocery budget, but I can do this. Pasta is cheap. Beans are cheap. I'll be fine. Amanda was so kind to me every day for 4 years. This is the least I can do. December 2016. 6 months of payments, $3,000 so far. Amanda's loan balance should be going down. I hope she's okay. I hope teaching is going well. I hope she's happy. I saw her mother at the store again, asked about Amanda. She said Amanda's doing better, not as stressed about money. That makes me happy. So happy. April 2018. 2 years now, $12,000 paid. I calculated if I keep going, I can pay $48,000 before I retire. Maybe more. My diabetes is getting worse. Doctor says I need better medication, more expensive. I can't afford it, and the payments. But Amanda needs this more than I need better health. I'll manage. November 2019. Hospitalized last week. Diabetes complications. The bills are terrible. $8,400. I'll be paying that off for years. But I didn't stop Amanda's payment. I can't. She's counting on it, even if she doesn't know it's me. March 2020, pandemic. School closed. I was furloughed for 3 months. No income. But I have savings. Not much, but enough to keep Amanda's payments going. I took money from my retirement, $1,500, to cover 3 months of payments. I'm 64. I won't retire anyway. I'll work until I can't. So retirement money can go to Amanda. June 2022. Cancer diagnosis, ovarian, stage 3. Doctor says treatment is expensive, might not be covered fully. I can do treatment or I can keep paying Amanda's loans. Not both. I'm 66 years old. I've lived a full life. Amanda is 29. She has her whole life ahead. I'm choosing her. I'll do minimal treatment, focus on keeping Amanda's payments going. January 2024. Cancer is bad now, spreading. Doctor says months. I'm so tired, so sick, but I can't stop the payments. Amanda still has $39,000 in loans. If I stop now, she'll struggle again. Just a few more months. I can hold on a few more months. March 1st, 2024, final entry. Made this month's payment, my last one, probably. I'm in hospice now, dying. 8 years, $48,000. I wish I could have paid more. Wish I could have paid it all. But I did what I could, and I hope it helped. Amanda, if you ever read this, you were worth it. Every dollar, every sacrifice. You saw me when I was invisible. That changed my life. Thank you for being kind to a lunch lady. I closed the notebook, put my head down on Stephen's desk, sobbed. Mrs. Williams had chosen me over her own health, had skipped cancer treatment to keep paying my loans, had died with $247 in her account because she'd sent me $500 2 weeks earlier. For what? for saying thank you in high school, for basic human decency. Stephen handed me tissues. Amanda, she wanted you to know that's why she left the journal. She chose me over cancer treatment. She chose to help you. That's how she saw it. Not as a sacrifice, as a choice. Her choice. But she died because of it. She died at 68 from cancer. That happens. But she died knowing she'd helped someone, that she'd made a difference. For Mrs. Williams, that was everything. I took the journal home, read it cover to cover. 8 years of entries, all about me. Entries I never knew existed about a woman I barely remembered, who remembered me every single day. August 2017, saw Amanda at Target today. She was buying school supplies. Looked happy, healthy. I ducked behind a display. Didn't want her to see me. Didn't want her to know about the payments. But seeing her doing well, that's enough. May 2019, Amanda's mother said Amanda got engaged. I'm so happy for her. She deserves happiness. I hope her fiancé knows how lucky he is. September 2020, pandemic teaching is hard. Amanda's mother says Amanda is exhausted. Teaching online, struggling. I wish I could do more than $500 a month, but it's all I have. December 2021, Christmas. I'm alone, as always, but I'm not sad because somewhere Amanda is celebrating with her family and maybe my $500 helped make her life a little easier. That's my Christmas gift. Every entry, observations about my life, secondhand information from my mother, random sightings. Mrs. Williams had been following my life for 8 years, from a distance, anonymously, helping without recognition. I called my mother, Mom, Mrs. Williams, the cafeteria lady from Lincoln High. Did you know she was paying my loans? What? No. How would I know that? You talked to her at the grocery store in 2016. You told her about my student loans. I vaguely remember there was a woman asked how you were doing. I mentioned you just started teaching, that you were struggling with loans, but I didn't know her name, just a friendly stranger. That was Mrs. Williams, and she started paying $500 a month toward my loans after that conversation. My mother went quiet, then, oh my God, Amanda, for how long? 8 years, until she died. $48,000. My mother started crying. That woman. I saw her a few times over the years. She'd always ask about you, how you were doing, if you were okay. I thought she was just being polite. I didn't know. She was following my life through you because she was paying my loans and wanted to know if it was helping. That night, I couldn't sleep, kept thinking about Mrs. Williams in her studio apartment, eating beans and pasta, skipping medication, dying of cancer, all to give me $500 a month. I'd been using that money for 8 years, living my life, better apartment, nicer car, occasional vacations, while Mrs. Williams lived on $359 a month in a studio alone, dying. I went to Lincoln High School the next day, asked to see the cafeteria manager, Tom Rodriguez, been there 20 years. Tom, I'm Amanda Parker. I'm a teacher now, but I was a student here, 2009 to 2013. I need to ask about Mrs. Williams. His face fell. Dorothy. Yeah, we heard she passed. So sad. She was the best. Did you know her well? As well as anyone. I guess. She was private. Didn't talk much about her personal life, but she was the hardest worker I've ever seen. Never late, never complained, always kind to the kids. Did she ever mention me? You? No. Why would she mention you? I explained the loan payments, the $48,000, the journal. Tom sat down, stunned. She did that on her salary? Yes, Jesus. Amanda Dorothy made maybe $28,000 a year. How did she afford? She didn't. She lived on almost nothing, went into debt, skipped medical treatment, died with $247 in her account. Tom put his head in his hands. I asked her once, maybe 5 years ago, why she never took time off, never went on vacation. She said, I have a commitment, something important. I can't take time off. I thought she meant work, but she meant you. Did she have friends? Family? Anyone? No family. She was alone. As for friends, she was friendly with the other cafeteria staff. But outside of work, I don't think so. I think she was lonely. Lonely, Mrs. Williams had been lonely for years, decades probably. And I'd been one bright spot, a student who'd been kind, who'd said thank you. And she'd held on to that for 15 years, turned it into a mission, helped me because I'd seen her when others didn't. I asked Tom if I could see the cafeteria walk through. Remember, he let me in. Lunch period, kids everywhere, loud, chaotic, just like when I was a student. I walked to the lunch line, watched the current cafeteria workers, serving food, wiping tables, invisible to most students. One worker, older woman, maybe 60. She smiled at each student, said, "Good morning." Most ignored her. A few grunted responses. One kid was rude. "This food sucks." She kept smiling. "I'm sorry you feel that way. Would you like something else?" I watched her for 10 minutes, doing Mrs. Williams's job, being invisible, being kind despite indifference. I walked up to her after the rush. "Excuse me. I wanted to say thank you for the work you do, for being kind to these kids, even when they don't appreciate it." She looked surprised. "Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind. What's your name?" Patricia Johnson." "Patricia, I'm Amanda Parker. I'm a teacher now, but I was a student here years ago. The cafeteria lady back then, Mrs. Williams, she changed my life. She was kind to me, and I want you to know your kindness matters too. Even if the kids don't see it now, they will someday." Patricia's eyes welled up. "Mrs. Williams. I knew her. She trained me when I started 5 years ago. She was wonderful. I'm so sorry she's gone." "Did she ever mention a student named Amanda?" "No, but she didn't talk much about personal things." "Why?" "I told her. The payments, the sacrifice, the journal." Patricia cried, right there in the cafeteria. "She did that for 8 years?" "Yes." "And you didn't know?" "Not until she died." Patricia wiped her eyes. "That sounds like Dorothy. She was always giving, always helping. We'd do Secret Santa at Christmas. Dorothy's gifts were always the most thoughtful, always perfect. Like she really paid attention, but she never wanted recognition, never wanted thanks." "Do you know if she was happy?" "Happy? I don't know. She seemed content, maybe. She'd say things like, 'I'm doing something important.' That's enough. I never knew what she meant. Now I do." I left the cafeteria, sat in my car in the school parking lot, where I used to park as a student, where Mrs. Williams used to park as a cafeteria worker, and I cried for the woman I barely knew, who knew me better than I knew her, who loved me from a distance, who died making sure I'd be okay. If you're listening to this and you work with people in service jobs, cafeteria workers, janitors, cashiers, anyone, see them, say their name, ask how they are, say thank you. Because you have no idea what that kindness might mean. You have no idea what it might become. I said thank you to a lunch lady, and she spent 8 years and $48,000 making sure I'd succeed. That's what kindness can do. That's what being seen can mean to someone invisible. Stephen called me 2 days later. "Amanda, I need you to come to Mrs. Williams's apartment to go through her belongings, decide what to keep, what to donate. Can't someone else do it? You're the only beneficiary, the only person she named. It has to be you." I drove to the address, east side of Indianapolis, old neighborhood, not dangerous, just worn, working class, forgotten. The building was a converted house. 4 units, Mrs. Williams's was the smallest studio, ground floor. Number 2. The landlord met me there. Older man, sympathetic. Miss Williams was a good tenant, 32 years. Never late on rent, never complained, quiet. "I'm sorry she's gone."
32 years?
"In this apartment?" "Yes, same place. Never moved, never upgraded. I offered her the bigger unit upstairs a few times. Lower rent per square foot. She always said no, said this was enough. He unlocked the door, handed me the key. Take your time. Let me know when you're finished. I walked inside and stopped. The apartment was tiny, maybe 300 square feet, one room, kitchenette in the corner, bathroom barely big enough to turn around in. Furniture from the 1990s, worn, faded. A twin bed, a small table with one chair, a lamp, a TV that had to be 15 years old. This is where Mrs. Williams lived for 32 years, while I lived in my comfortable two-bedroom apartment, while I complained about wanting more space. I walked through slowly, taking it in, the poverty, the simplicity, the loneliness. The kitchenette had one pot, one pan, two plates, two cups, one set of silverware, like she never expected company, never planned to entertain. The refrigerator was nearly empty. Eggs, bread, peanut butter, pasta, the staples of someone living on $359 a month. I found her pantry, canned beans, rice, pasta, generic brands, the cheapest versions of everything. This is what Mrs. Williams ate every day for 8 years, so she could send me $500 a month. The bathroom had one towel, generic shampoo, dollar store soap, no luxury items, no skincare, no makeup. The closet held maybe 10 items, cafeteria uniforms, a few plain shirts, two pairs of jeans, one dress, probably for church or special occasions. Everything old, worn, faded, nothing new, nothing nice. Because new clothes cost money, and that money went to my student loans. I sat on her bed, the springs creaked, old mattress, thin blanket, one pillow. This is where Mrs. Williams slept every night, in this tiny room, on this uncomfortable bed, alone. While I slept in my comfortable queen bed with my husband in my temperature-controlled apartment. I found her desk, small, particle board from IKEA, probably 20 years old. On it, a photo, framed me, my college graduation, 2013, cap and gown, smiling. Where did she get this photo? I'd posted it on Facebook. She must have printed it, framed it, put it on her desk, so she could see it every day, see the girl she was helping, the student who'd been kind to her. I opened the desk drawer, found more photos, all of me. High school graduation, college orientation, my engagement announcement, my wedding photo, photos of my classroom I'd posted on social media. Mrs. Williams had been following me online quietly, printing photos, keeping them, creating a collection of my life, a life she was helping fund but wasn't part of. I found a folder labeled Amanda. Inside printed Facebook posts, Instagram photos, every public post I'd made for 8 years. Mrs. Williams had been documenting my life, screenshots, printouts, organized by year. 2016, started my first teaching job today. Nervous but excited. Mrs. Williams had commented under a fake name, probably, "Congratulations, you'll be wonderful." I'd never noticed, never connected the random supportive comment to the lunch lady from high school.
2000 Acton. Engaged.
Can't believe I found my person. Another comment from the fake account. So happy for you. You deserve all the happiness. 2020 online teaching is kicking my butt, but we're surviving barely. Comment. You're doing amazing. Don't give up. Your students need you. Every major post, every milestone, Mrs. Williams had been there. Quietly, supportively, under a pseudonym. Being part of my life, without me knowing it was her. I found something else in the folder. Medical records. Not hers. Mine. No, wait. Not mine. A stranger's. Someone named Michael Torres, kidney recipient. 2015. Why did Mrs. Williams have someone else's medical records? I read through them. Michael Torres, age 34 in 2015, kidney failure, dialysis, needed transplant. Donor anonymous, living donor, successful transplant, 2015. At the bottom, a note in Mrs. Williams' handwriting. Michael has 3 children. He needed to live. I have 2 kidneys. I only need one. It was an easy choice. I stopped breathing. Mrs. Williams had donated a kidney to a stranger. In 2015, 1 year before she started paying my loans, she'd given away an organ and then started giving away her money. I found more records, hospital bills from the kidney donation, $47,000 in medical costs. Insurance covered some, but Mrs. Williams paid $12,000 out of pocket. Money she'd saved, gone, to give a stranger a kidney. And then the next year, she started giving me $500 a month. I sat there in her tiny apartment, surrounded by evidence of a life lived for others. Mrs. Williams wasn't just helping me, she was a giver, a systematic, relentless giver. She gave her kidney, she gave her money, she gave her time, she gave everything. And she died with $247 in her account. I found her checkbook, old-fashioned, handwritten register. Entries going back years, every expense documented. I saw the pattern, groceries, dollar 280/month, always exactly $280, beans, rice, pasta, peanut butter, eggs, rent $750, always on time, never late.
Utilities, $120. Minimal. She kept the heat low, AC off, used as little as possible.
And then donations, $50 to St. Vincent de Paul, $30 to the animal shelter, $25 to the food bank. Every month, even while living on $359 a month, even while paying my loans, even while dying of cancer. She gave to everyone, all the time. It's who she was. I found a letter tucked in the checkbook from Michael Torres, the kidney recipient. Dear Dorothy, I know you wanted to remain anonymous, but I found your name through the hospital records. I had to thank you. You saved my life. My children have a father because of you. My wife has a husband. I don't know why you did it, why you gave a kidney to a stranger, but I will spend the rest of my life grateful. You are an angel. Truly. Thank you. Forever thank you. Michael Torres. Dated 2016, 1 year after the donation. Mrs. Williams had kept this letter, treasured it, proof that her sacrifice mattered. And then she'd started helping me because one person's gratitude wasn't enough. She needed to help more people. I found her phone, old flip phone, prepaid, basic. Contacts 4 people, her doctor, her landlord, Tom Rodriguez, from the cafeteria, and Amanda's mother. She'd saved my mother's number from that grocery store conversation in 2016, kept it for 8 years. But never called. Never reached out, just kept it, in case of emergency maybe, in case she needed to tell someone about the payments if she died suddenly. I found text messages, all from Tom, work schedule updates. Can you cover Thursday? Staff meeting Tuesday. Mrs. Williams's response is, yes, okay, I'll be there. Short, efficient, no small talk, no personal sharing. She'd been isolated, completely isolated. Work was her only social interaction. And even there, she was just the lunch lady, invisible. I found one more thing, a box under the bed, labeled important. Inside, more photos, but not of me, of children. Dozens of children, random kids. No, not random. Lincoln High School students from over the years. Each photo had a note attached. Marcus told me thank you every day for 4 years. Hope he's doing well. Jasmine always asked how I was, made me feel seen. 2008 to 2012. David helped me clean up a spill. Didn't have to, just did. 2015. Mrs. Williams had been collecting kind students, documenting them, remembering them. I was one of many. Not special, just one person in a long list of students who'd been kind to an invisible cafeteria worker. But I was the one she'd helped financially. Why me? I found a journal entry dated 2016. I can't help them all. I wish I could, but I can help one. Amanda needs it most. Student loans, young teacher, struggling. Marcus is a doctor now. Jasmine is a lawyer. David works in tech. They're successful. They don't need me. But Amanda, she's a teacher, making $48,000, drowning in debt. She's the one I can help, the one who needs it. So it'll be Amanda. I'll help her for as long as I can. I was the lucky one, the one Mrs. Williams chose because I needed help, because she could make a difference. Not because I was more deserving, just because I was struggling and she had $500 a month to give. I left the apartment, locked it, gave the key back to the landlord. What should we do with her belongings? He asked. Donate everything. Furniture, clothes, kitchen items, everything except the photos and journals. Those I'll keep. What about the apartment? I'll need to re-rent it. Can you wait 1 week? I need to do something first. I came back the next day with flowers, cleaning supplies, new sheets for the bed. I spent 6 hours cleaning Mrs. Williams's apartment, making it beautiful, the way she deserved to live but never did. I put flowers on the table, hung pictures on the walls, made it look like a home, not just a place to exist. And I said goodbye to the space where Mrs. Williams had sacrificed for me, where she'd eaten beans and pasta, where she'd slept on an old mattress, where she'd died with $247 in her account. Thank you, I whispered. Thank you for everything. I'm so sorry I didn't know. I'm so sorry I didn't help you back. I went to Lincoln High School again, asked for the cafeteria staff, wanted to talk to people who knew Mrs. Williams. Patricia was there, and two others, Maria and James, all longtime workers. Did you know Mrs. Williams well? I asked. Maria spoke as well as anyone. She was private, but kind, always kind. Did she ever help you, financially or otherwise? Maria and James exchanged glances. Why do you ask? Because she helped me. A lot. And I'm realizing she helped others too. Maria nodded slowly. My son, 2018. He was in the hospital, needed surgery. I didn't have insurance. Dorothy gave me $2,000. Just gave it, said pay me back whenever. Or don't, doesn't matter. Did you pay her back? I tried. She wouldn't take it. Said use it for your son. He needs it more than I do. James cleared his throat. My car broke down, 2020. I couldn't afford to fix it, couldn't get to work. Dorothy paid for the repair, $800. Told me the same thing. Pay me back if you can, but don't stress about it. Patricia, she bought my granddaughter's school supplies every year, $150 worth. Backpack, notebooks, everything. Said, every child deserves a good start to school. I stared at them. She was living on almost nothing. How did she afford all this? They didn't answer because they didn't know. Didn't know about the $500 monthly payments, the medical debt, the cancer treatment she'd skipped. They just knew Dorothy helped people all the time, quietly. Did she have anyone? Friends? Family? No, Patricia said. She'd eat lunch alone. Every day, in the corner, reading. We'd invite her to join us. She'd say, I'm fine, thank you. She preferred being alone. Was she happy? They all paused, thinking. Maria, I don't know if Dorothy was happy, but she was peaceful, maybe. Like she'd made peace with her life, with being alone, with being invisible. She wasn't invisible to you, no, but we're cafeteria workers too. We see each other, we're all invisible together. I left, drove to the cemetery, found Mrs. Williams's grave. Simple headstone, paid for by her small estate. Dorothy Mae Williams, 1956 to 2024. She gave everything. I'd requested that inscription. Stephen had approved it because it was true. She gave her kidney, her money, her time, her health, her life. She gave everything to everyone and died with almost nothing. I knelt at her grave, put flowers down, yellow roses. I didn't know her favorite flower, wished I'd asked, wished I'd known her better. Mrs. Williams, Dorothy, I don't know what to say. Thank you feels too small. I'm sorry feels inadequate. I touched the headstone. Cold marble. You saved my life, not literally, but financially, emotionally. You gave me hope when I was drowning, and you did it anonymously. Expected nothing back. Tears falling. Couldn't stop them. I wish I'd known. I wish I'd helped you back. I wish I'd visited you. Been your friend. Made your life less lonely. But I didn't. I just went about my life. Used your $500 every month. Lived comfortably while you lived on $359 a month. Alone in a studio apartment. That's not fair. That's not right. You deserved better. You deserved everything. I stayed there for an hour, just sitting, talking to her, telling her about my life, about my students, about the difference her payments had made. I'm a teacher because of you. I was going to quit 2017. The loans were too much. I couldn't handle it, but then the payments started, and I could breathe. I could keep teaching. I've taught 800 students because of you, 800 kids who had a teacher who wasn't drowning in debt, who could focus on them, who could be present. That's your legacy, Dorothy. Not just helping me, helping all those students I taught because you made it possible. I made a decision that day at her grave, looking at her name on the headstone. I was going to honor her, make her sacrifice mean something, make sure people knew what she did. If you're still listening, if this story is breaking your heart, it should, because there are invisible workers everywhere: cafeteria staff, janitors, cashiers, people who serve you every day, and you don't see them, don't thank them, don't know their names. One of them might be a Dorothy, someone who gives everything, who helps quietly, who sacrifices for strangers. See them before it's too late, before they're gone and you're kneeling at a grave wishing you'd said thank you one more time. I went back to the high school, asked for a meeting with the principal, Dr. Sarah Chen. Dr. Chen, I want to propose something, a memorial for Dorothy Williams. The cafeteria worker who just passed? What kind of memorial? A scholarship, the Dorothy Williams Scholarship for future educators, for students who want to be teachers, $2,000 annually in her name. That's generous. Are you funding it? Yes. And I'm asking the school to match it $4,000 total for 2 students each year. Students who've been kind to cafeteria staff, who see invisible workers. Dr. Chen nodded. I love it. Let's do it. We set it up. The Dorothy Williams Scholarship. First award ceremony scheduled for May 2025. I used part of the $8,000 Mrs. Williams left me, and I added money from my own savings, money I'd saved because of her $500 monthly payments. Money that was hers anyway, just coming back around. I also proposed a second thing. I want a plaque in the cafeteria honoring Dorothy, so students know who she was, what she did. What did she do? She saw people. She was kind. She gave everything to help others. Students should know that, should remember her. We installed the plaque in April. Cafeteria wall, visible from the lunch line. In memory of Dorothy May Williams. Cafeteria worker, 1992 to 2023. Dorothy worked in this cafeteria for 31 years. She served lunch, wiped tables, and smiled at every student. Most students didn't see her, but Dorothy saw them. She remembered kind words. She noticed when students were struggling. Dorothy gave her kidney to a stranger. She gave her money to help a former student with debt. She gave her time to anyone who needed it. She lived simply so others could live better. She died with almost nothing because she'd given everything away. To students, see the people who serve you. Say thank you. Be kind. You have no idea what that kindness might mean. Dorothy Williams mattered. Let's make sure she's never forgotten. The day we unveiled it, I stood in the cafeteria, watched students read it, watched some of them stop, think, look at the current cafeteria workers differently. One student, a girl, maybe 16, walked up to Patricia. Hi, I'm Emma. I just wanted to say thank you for the work you do. I'm sorry I've never said it before. Patricia's eyes filled with tears. Thank you, Emma. That means more than you know. I watched Emma walk away, and I thought, that's Dorothy's legacy. One student, one thank you, one person seeing the invisible. That's how it starts. I found one more thing in Dorothy's apartment, the last time I went back before the landlord cleared it out. A letter, unsealed, on the table, dated March 14th, 2024, the day before she died. Dear Amanda, this is my last letter. I'm in hospice now, dying soon. I wanted to tell you something, in case you ever find out about the payments, in case you ever feel guilty. Don't. You didn't ask me to help you. You didn't know I was helping. You don't owe me anything. I helped you because I wanted to, because you were kind to me when nobody else was, because I could. That $500 every month, that wasn't a sacrifice. That was joy. That was purpose. I'm old, alone, no family, no children, nothing to leave behind. But I gotta help you. I got to watch you become a teacher. I got to see you succeed. That's more than most people get. That's a life well lived. So please don't feel guilty. Don't feel like you owe me. Just keep teaching. Keep being kind. Keep seeing invisible people. That's all I want. That's my legacy. I love you, Amanda. Not because you're special, but because you were kind to a lunch lady. And that's everything. Dorothy. I folded the letter, put it in my wallet, carried it with me everywhere. A reminder of the woman who saw me, who helped me, who loved me from a distance. A reminder to see others, to help when I can, to love quietly. The way Dorothy did for 68 years, until she died with $247 in her account and everything given away. May 2025, 1 year after Dorothy died, the first Dorothy Williams Scholarship ceremony, I stood in the high school auditorium, 200 students, faculty, parents, cafeteria staff in the front row. Two recipients, $2,000 each, students who wanted to be teachers, students who'd been kind to cafeteria workers. Dr. Chen introduced me. Amanda Parker, class of 2013, will present this year's Dorothy Williams Scholarship. Amanda, the stage is yours. I walked up, looked at the audience, saw Patricia, Maria, James, the cafeteria workers, wiping their eyes already. Thank you for being here. I'm Amanda Parker. I teach English at Riverside High School now, but I'm a Lincoln graduate, class of 2013. This scholarship is named for Dorothy Williams. Some of you remember her, the cafeteria lady who worked here for 31 years. I clicked to a slide, Dorothy's photo, from her employee badge, smiling, kind eyes. Dorothy died a year ago. Most of you didn't notice, because Dorothy was invisible. Cafeteria workers often are. But Dorothy saw you. Even when you didn't see her, she remembered kind words. She noticed struggling students. She cared. I told them the story, not all of it, the appropriate parts about saying thank you in high school, about Dorothy following my life, about the 8 years of payments. The audience was silent, listening, some crying. Dorothy gave me $48,000 over 8 years. She lived on almost nothing so I could breathe, so I could keep teaching, so I could have a future. I didn't know until she died. I never got to say thank you. I never got to help her back. So this scholarship is my thank you. Too late for Dorothy, but not too late for students like me. Students who need help, who dream of teaching, who see invisible workers. I introduced the first recipient, Marcus Johnson, Jr., 4.0 GPA, wants to teach elementary education, works part-time to help his single mom. And according to the cafeteria staff, he says good morning to every worker, every single day. Marcus came on stage, 17, tall, shy, shocked he'd won. I handed him the check, $2,000. Marcus, Dorothy would be proud. Keep seeing people, keep being kind, and when you become a teacher, and you will remember where you came from, remember who helped you, remember to see the invisible. He hugged me, whispered, "Thank you. This changes everything." I know, I thought it changed everything for me too. Second recipient, Sarah Martinez, senior, 3.8 GPA, accepted to IU School of Education, first generation college student, and she volunteers in the cafeteria. Every week, helps clean up, talks to the workers, sees them. Sarah came up, 18, crying. I can't believe this. Thank you. Thank you so much. I handed her the check. Sarah, you remind me of me. First generation, scared, determined. You're going to be an amazing teacher, and you're going to help so many students. She hugged me, held on tight. I won't let you down. I won't let Mrs. Williams down. You already haven't, just by being you, just by seeing people. After the ceremony, Patricia approached me. Amanda, that was beautiful. Dorothy would have loved this. I hope so. I wish she could have been here. She was. I felt her, watching, proud. Maria joined us. You know what Dorothy would say? She'd say, "This is too much fuss. I just helped a little." That's how she was. Never wanted credit. Well, she's getting it now, whether she wanted it or not. James handed me something, an envelope. We found this in Dorothy's locker. After she died, we were waiting for the right time to give it to you. I opened it. A letter, dated March 2024, right before she died. Amanda, if the cafeteria staff are giving you this, it means I'm gone, and you've set up the scholarship. I knew you would. Thank you for honoring me, but please remember, I'm not special. I'm just a cafeteria worker who helped one student. There are hundreds of us, thousands, working in schools, feeding kids, cleaning up, being invisible. We all have stories, we all see things, we all care. Don't just honor me, honor all of us. See all of us. Make students understand invisible workers are people. We have lives, dreams, we matter. That's my real legacy. Not the scholarship, the seeing. Love always. Dorothy. I read it aloud to the cafeteria staff. They all cried. She's right, Patricia said. We're all here every day feeding 1,200 students, and most of them never look at us, never say thank you. We're just part of the furniture. Not anymore, I said. I'm starting something at my school, and I want to bring it here too. The next week, I launched See the Invisible at Riverside High School. Simple concept. Students interview cafeteria workers, janitors, security guards, bus drivers, anyone who works at the school but stays invisible. Document their stories, their lives, their dreams, their sacrifices. Create presentations, share them, make the invisible visible. My students were skeptical at first. Miss Parker, why do we have to interview the lunch lady? Because she's a person with a story, and you're going to hear it. I assigned it, required project, 20% of their grade, interview one invisible worker, 10-minute presentation. The pushback was immediate. This is stupid. They're just cafeteria workers. I stopped class, looked at the student who said it, Tyler, 17, entitled, privileged. Tyler, what's your dream? What? Your dream. What do you want to do with your life? I don't know. Engineering, maybe, or business. And who's going to feed you while you're in college studying engineering? Who's going to clean the dorm you live in? Who's going to drive the bus that takes you to internships? He was quiet. Invisible workers. That's who people you don't see, don't think about, don't value. But those jobs are, what? Beneath you? Not as important as engineering? I mean, Tyler, I'm a teacher. I have a master's degree. I make $52,000 a year. The cafeteria worker who was helping me for 8 years, she made $28,000, but she gave me $48,000 over those 8 years. She chose to help me instead of living comfortably herself, because she saw me when I was a student, just like you are now, because I said thank you, because I was kind. So you're going to do this project, and you're going to learn that invisible workers are people, real people, who matter. Tyler did the project, interviewed Patricia, learned she'd immigrated from Guatemala, sent money to her family, worked 2 jobs, raised 3 kids alone. His presentation was 10 minutes. He cried through half of it. I never knew. I've eaten lunch here for 4 years. She served me food every day, and I never asked her name. Never said thank you. Never saw her. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Patricia was in the classroom. I'd invited her. She hugged Tyler. It's okay. You see me now. That's what matters. Other students had similar experiences. 23 interviews. 23 stories. James, the janitor, who'd been a jazz musician, toured with bands in the 1980s, gave it up to raise his daughter when his wife died, been cleaning schools for 30 years. Maria, the cafeteria worker whose son had cerebral palsy, worked 3 jobs to afford his care, never complained, always smiled. Robert, the security guard who was a veteran, Iraq War, PTSD, couldn't handle crowds. Night shift security was therapeutic for him. Every single person had a story, a life, a reason, and my students had never bothered to ask. The project changed them. I could see it, the way they walked through the cafeteria, saying good morning, saying thank you, learning names, making eye contact, seeing one student, Emily, a senior, came to me after her presentation. Miss Parker, I want to do more. This project changed me. How do I keep going? Start a club, see the invisible, document stories, share them, make it a movement. She did. 10 students joined. They created Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, sharing stories of invisible workers. Not just at our school, they reached out to other schools, other businesses, other communities. Within 3 months, See the Invisible was in 12 schools across Indianapolis. Students interviewing cafeteria workers, sharing stories, creating change. Cafeteria workers started getting thank you notes, cards on their birthdays, recognition. Some schools started paying them better benefits, better treatment, all because students stopped and saw them, asked their names, heard their stories. Dorothy's ripple, spreading, growing, touching hundreds of students, thousands of workers. I went back to Lincoln High School 6 months after the scholarship ceremony, wanted to see the plaque, see if students were reading it. I stood in the cafeteria, lunch period, chaos. And I watched students walking through the line, some ignoring the workers, but many more saying thank you, smiling, making conversation. One girl stopped, read the plaque about Dorothy, then walked to Patricia. Hi, I'm Hannah. I just wanted to say thank you for what you do, and I'm sorry I've never said it before. Patricia smiled. Huge smile. Thank you, Hannah. That means so much. I watched this happen 3 more times. Different students, same pattern, reading about Dorothy, saying thank you.
The plaque was working.
Dorothy's story was changing behavior. I talked to Dr. Chen afterward. Have you noticed a difference since the scholarship, since the plaque? Absolutely. Cafeteria workers report better treatment, more respect. Students using their names, saying thank you. It's a complete culture shift. All because of Dorothy. All because you told her story, made her visible. Students needed to know that invisible workers are people, that kindness matters. You taught them that. I went back to Dorothy's grave that afternoon, told her about the scholarship, the project, the movement. Dorothy, you're changing lives, even after you're gone. Hundreds of students are seeing invisible workers now because of you, because of your story. I put fresh flowers down, yellow roses. Her favorite, I'd learned from Patricia. I wish you could see it. Wish you could know how much your sacrifice meant, not just to me, to everyone. I found something on my next visit, 2 weeks later, not on Dorothy's grave, on the grave next to hers. A note, handwritten, left by someone. I never met you, Dorothy Williams, but I heard your story. I'm a cafeteria worker, too, at a different school. I feel invisible every day, but your story reminds me I'm not invisible. I matter. Thank you for showing me that, Jennifer. I sat down, right there on the grass, cried. Dorothy's story was reaching people I'd never met, cafeteria workers in other cities, other states, people who felt invisible, who needed to know they mattered. I started getting emails, messages from across the country. I heard about Dorothy Williams. I'm a janitor. Her story made me cry, made me feel seen. I'm a bus driver. Nobody notices me, but Dorothy's story reminded me I make a difference, even if nobody says thank you. I'm a teacher, like you. I started a See the Invisible project at my school because of Dorothy, because of you. Dorothy's story was spreading organically, person to person, school to school. I was interviewed by local news, teacher honors cafeteria worker who paid her student loans. The story went viral, 2 million views, 50,000 shares. Comments section. I'm calling my high school lunch lady tomorrow. I never thanked the janitor at my office. I'm going to start. This made me ugly cry. I'm a cafeteria worker. Thank you for seeing us. National news picked it up. Good Morning America, the cafeteria worker who gave everything. I told Dorothy's story on national TV, showed her photo, explained the scholarship, the movement. Donations poured in $127,000 from strangers, people who'd heard the story and wanted to help. We expanded the scholarship, 10 students per year now, $2,000 each at multiple schools. The Dorothy Williams Foundation for Invisible Workers. Scholarships for children of cafeteria workers, janitors, bus drivers, anyone working invisible jobs, helping them go to college, become teachers, break cycles. 1 year after Dorothy died, 47 students had received scholarships. 47 futures changed because Dorothy gave me $48,000 because I told her story, because people listened. I got a call in November 2025 from Michael Torres, the kidney recipient. Miss Parker, you don't know me, but I received a kidney from Dorothy Williams in 2015. I heard about what she did for you. I needed to call. Michael, I found your letter in Dorothy's apartment. She kept it. She did? I'm I'm glad. I wanted her to know how grateful I was. She knew, she treasured that letter. I have 3 kids. They're teenagers now. 19, 17, 15. They're alive because Dorothy gave me a kidney. They have a father because of her. His voice broke. She saved my family, and I never got to thank her properly. She didn't want thanks. She just wanted to help. I know, but I need to do something in her honor. Can I contribute to the foundation? Of course. Michael donated $10,000. It's not enough. It'll never be enough. But Dorothy gave me life. I'm giving back. Other people Dorothy had helped started coming forward. Stories I'd never heard. A former student who Dorothy had bought winter coats for every year because his family couldn't afford them. A coworker whose rent Dorothy had paid when she was evicted, $1,200, never asked for it back. A neighbor whose groceries Dorothy had bought weekly for months when the neighbor lost her job. Dorothy had been helping everyone all the time for decades, and she died with $247 in her account because she'd given everything away. I found one more thing in Dorothy's belongings that Stephen had saved for me, a diary from 1978, when Dorothy was 22. I'd never understood why Dorothy was alone, never married, no kids, no family. The diary explained it. June 14, 1978. Robert proposed today. I said no. He doesn't understand, says we love each other, says we should get married, have children, but I can't. I have a calling, a purpose. There are people who need help, children who are hungry, families who are struggling. If I get married, have kids, I'll have obligations, financial obligations. I won't be able to help others as much. So I'm choosing this, choosing to be alone, choosing to give my life to helping people. Robert thinks I'm crazy. Maybe I am. But this is who I am. This is what I'm meant to do. Dorothy had chosen this life deliberately. She'd had opportunities, love, marriage, family, but she'd chosen service instead, chosen to help strangers, chosen to be alone so she could give everything away.
That's not sad. That's not tragic. That's noble. That's beautiful.
Dorothy knew exactly what she was doing, and she chose it every single day for 68 years. I shared this in my classroom, read the diary entry to my students. Dorothy chose to be alone so she could help people. She had a boyfriend. He proposed. She said no, because marriage and kids would mean less money to help others. That's her choice, her life. And she lived it fully without regret. One student raised her hand. Mia, quiet girl, thoughtful. Miss Parker, was she happy? I think so. Happiness isn't just comfort, it's purpose. Dorothy had purpose. She helped hundreds of people. That gave her life meaning. But she died alone. She died knowing she'd made a difference. That's not alone. That's surrounded by impact. If you're still listening to this story, I need you to understand something. Dorothy wasn't a saint. She wasn't perfect. She was just a person who decided to see other people, to help when she could, to give what she had. And what she had was kindness, and $500 a month, and a kidney, and her time, and her life. She gave all of it away. And the world is better because she did. My classroom is different now. I teach differently. Every semester, first day, I tell Dorothy's story. This is Dorothy Williams. She was a cafeteria worker at my high school. I said thank you to her every day for 4 years. That's it. Just basic kindness. 15 years later, Dorothy spent 8 years paying my student loans, $48,000. She lived on almost nothing, so I could breathe. I didn't know until she died. This is why kindness matters. This is why you say thank you. This is why you see invisible people. Because you never know. You never know what that kindness might become. Every student who takes my class learns about Dorothy. 120 students per year. That's 600 students in 5 years. 600 young people who know her story, who understand that invisible workers are people who say thank you. That's Dorothy's real legacy, not the $48,000, the seeing, the remembering, the kindness. The ripple keeps spreading. I got married 2 years after Dorothy died. My husband Daniel knows the whole story. We named our daughter Dorothy, born January 2027. Baby Dorothy will grow up knowing about the woman she's named after, the cafeteria worker who changed lives, who gave everything. She'll know that kindness matters, that invisible people are people, that saying thank you can change the world. I visit Dorothy's grave every month, bring fresh flowers, tell her about the foundation, the students, the movement. Dorothy, you're in 12 states now. 34 schools have See the Invisible programs. 189 students have received scholarships in your name. Cafeteria workers across the country know your story. They feel seen, valued, important. Because of you, because you helped a random student who said thank you. Last month, I brought Marcus and Sarah, the first scholarship recipients, both in college now, both studying education. We stood at Dorothy's grave together. 3 teachers, present and future, because of one cafeteria worker. Marcus spoke, Mrs. Williams. You never met me, but you changed my life. That $2,000 meant I could go to college, could become a teacher. I'm going to spend my career helping students like me, like Amanda, like you helped. Sarah, I'm going to teach elementary school, and I'm going to make sure my students see cafeteria workers, janitors, everyone. They're going to know your story, know that invisible workers matter. We planted flowers, created a small garden around her headstone, yellow roses, blooming year-round. So Dorothy's grave wouldn't be empty, forgotten, invisible. Like she'd been in life, except she wasn't invisible. Not really. She was seen by the people who mattered, the people she helped, the people whose lives she touched. And now, because I told her story, she's seen by thousands. My name is Amanda Parker. I'm a high school English teacher. I make $62,000 a year now. I have $19,000 left in student loans, down from $87,000. Because Dorothy Williams, a cafeteria worker, gave me $48,000 over 8 years. She lived on $359 a month, so I could have $500 a month help. She skipped cancer treatment so she could keep the payments going. She died with $247 in her account because she'd given everything away. To me, to a stranger who needed a kidney, to coworkers who needed help, to students who needed coats, to everyone. She gave to everyone. And I didn't know until she was dead. I can't bring her back, can't say thank you, can't repay her, but I can tell her story. I can make sure she's remembered. I can honor her by seeing other invisible workers, by teaching my students to see, by spreading kindness, by helping others the way she helped me. That's Dorothy's legacy. Not money, not scholarships, not foundations. Really seeing people even when they're invisible. Subscribe to The Quiet Reckoning if this story changed how you see the world. We tell stories about invisible heroes and the quiet acts that save lives. Because those stories matter. Those people matter. Dorothy Williams mattered. And because I said thank you in high school, I got to know that, got to honor that, got to share that. Say thank you to cafeteria workers, to janitors, to cashiers, to everyone who serves you invisibly. Because one of them might be a Dorothy, someone who'll change your life, someone who'll sacrifice everything just to help you breathe. See them before it's too late, before they're gone and you're standing at a grave wishing you'd said one more thank you. Dorothy Williams, 1956 to 2024, cafeteria worker, kidney donor, silent hero. She gave everything, and the world barely noticed until now.